Welcome back, coin enthusiasts. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of United Kingdom 50 new pence coins. Over the years, these small copper coins have carried more than just monetary value. They reflect history, artistry, and, for collectors, potentially life-changing worth. In this video, we'll explore the top 3 most valuable UK 50 new pence coins, considering different years, mint marks, and conditions. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting your coin collection, this guide will give you an in-depth understanding of what makes certain pennies truly rare and valuable. Let's get started. First up, the United Kingdom 50 pence coin, dated 1978, specifically in circulated condition. At first glance, this coin may appear ordinary, as millions of 50p coins pass through hands every year. However, when we slow down and examine its background, design, production era, and collector interest, we begin to understand why even a circulated 1978 50 pence holds a special place in British numismatic history. In this video, we will explore whether this coin is truly rare, how collectors view it when worn or damaged, and most importantly, what kind of auction market value it can achieve today in US dollars. The 50 pence coin was first introduced in the United Kingdom in 1969 as part of the country's transition to decimal currency. The 1978 issue belongs to the early decades of decimal coinage, a period that marked a major transformation in British monetary history. By 1978, the 50 pence had already become a familiar coin in everyday transactions, used widely across shops, public transport, and services. This year falls during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, whose portrait graces the obverse of the coin. The 1978 50 pence reflects the economic environment of late 1970s Britain, a time of inflation, social change, and evolving coin production techniques. Large mintages were produced to meet circulation demand, making the coin common in daily use but historically significant as part of Britain's decimal evolution point. One of the most distinctive features of the UK 50 pence is its seven-sided shape, known as an equilateral curve heptagon. This unusual design was revolutionary at the time and made the coin instantly recognizable by touch, especially useful for the visually impaired. The 1978 50 pence typically features the Machin portrait of Queen Elizabeth II on the obverse, a classic and elegant design used on British coinage for many years. The reverse design during this period usually displays Britannia, the symbolic female figure representing Britain, holding a trident and shield. The coin is made from cupronickel, giving it a silvery appearance, though circulated examples often show dullness, scratches, edge knocks, and surface wear. Even in circulated condition, these design elements remain an important part of its identity and collector appeal. From a strictly mintage perspective, the 1978 UK 50 pence is not considered rare, as millions were struck for circulation. However, rarity in coin collecting is not determined by mintage alone. Collector demand can increase based on condition, eras, varieties, and historical interest. In circulated or damaged condition, such as coins with heavy wear, rim dents, discoloration, or scratches, demand is generally lower among high-end collectors. That said, beginner collectors, date-set builders, and budget-conscious numismatists often seek circulated examples to complete collections affordably. Additionally, any unusual mint errors, off-center strikes, or die variations on a 1978 50 pence can significantly increase interest, even if the coin is otherwise worn. This makes every circulated coin worth checking carefully. When it comes to auction market value, a standard 1978 UK 50 pence in circulated condition usually trades at modest prices. In most cases, worn examples sell for approximately $433,000, depending on overall appearance and remaining detail. Coins with moderate circulation but clear designs may reach slightly higher prices in online auctions, especially if sold in lots or to international buyers. Heavily damaged coins typically sell closer to face value or just above it. However, if a circulated 1978 50 pence displays a verified mint error, misstrike, or rare variety, auction prices can rise dramatically, sometimes reaching $321,000 or more, depending on the severity and rarity of the error. Market values fluctuate based on collector interest, currency exchange rates, and current demand trends. For collectors interested in the 1978 50 pence, patience and knowledge are key. Always examine circulated coins under good lighting, checking for errors, doubled lettering, unusual thickness, or alignment issues. Avoid harsh cleaning, as cleaning can significantly reduce collector value, even on circulated coins. If you believe your coin may be unusual, consider comparing it with verified examples or seeking advice from experienced collectors or grading services. Storing coins properly in protective holders helps preserve their condition and prevents further damage. Collectors building full-date runs of UK 50 pence coins often appreciate circulated examples as affordable entry points into the hobby. In conclusion, the United Kingdom 50 pence 1978 in circulated condition may not be a headline-grabbing rarity, but it remains an important and fascinating piece of British numismatic history. Its distinctive shape, classic designs, and role in everyday life during a transformative era make it worthy of attention. While most circulated examples hold modest auction values in dollars, the possibility of hidden errors and growing collector interest means this coin should never be overlooked. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or a beginner just starting out, the 1978 50 pence reminds us that even ordinary coins can tell extraordinary stories. Next up, United Kingdom numismatic history, the 1969 50 pence coin. While this coin may show signs of wear and be in less than ideal condition, it carries historical significance and collector interest that cannot be ignored. In this video, we will explore its background, unique features, rarity, current market value in dollars, and share some tips for collectors who are considering acquiring one. Whether you are a seasoned numismatist or just beginning your coin collection journey, this video will provide valuable insights into the world of UK coins. The 50 pence coin was first introduced to the United Kingdom in 1969, replacing the 10 shilling note as part of the decimalisation process, which simplified the British currency system. This coin is notable for its distinctive equilateral curved heptagon shape, which was designed to be easily recognisable by touch and visually distinct from other coins. The 1969 edition holds particular importance as it was among the first series of 50 pence coins minted for general circulation. Despite its practical purpose, it has now become a collectible item, reflecting an era of monetary transition in British history. The 1969 50 pence coin is striking in both design and composition. Made of cupronickel, it has a weight of 13.5 grams and a diameter of 30.8 millimeters. The obverse features the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin, a depiction that was standard for coins during that period. On the reverse, you will find the crowned British coat of arms, a detailed and symbolic design representing the United Kingdom's heritage. What makes the 1969 issue particularly interesting to collectors is the combination of its early minting date and unique heptagonal shape, which set it apart from later 50 pence coins. Even in bad condition, these features are still identifiable and add to the coin's historical appeal. One might assume that coins in poor condition are of little interest, but the 1969 50 pence coin proves otherwise. Early editions like this are increasingly rare, as many have been lost, melted down, or worn beyond recognition over the decades. Coins with scratches, discoloration, or other damage may not fetch as high a price as pristine examples, but they are still sought after by collectors who are interested in filling gaps in their collections or completing a chronological series. The demand is particularly notable among UK coin collectors and numismatists who value historical significance over perfect condition. Because this coin represents one of the first decimal 50 pence coins, even a well-worn example holds a story of Britain's monetary evolution that resonates with collectors worldwide. Now, let's talk about the market value. A 1969 50 pence coin in bad condition typically sells for a modest amount compared to mint condition examples. As of 2025, auction listings and collector sales show that these coins in heavily circulated or damaged condition usually range between $316,000 depending on the severity of wear and the presence of any unique marks or errors. It's important to note that the market can fluctuate based on collector demand, auction trends, and rarity of surviving examples. While this might seem modest, it represents a tangible entry point into the world of collecting historic British coins without breaking the bank. For collectors interested in the 1969 50 pence coin, a few key tips can help you make informed choices. First, always verify the authenticity of the coin before purchasing, especially when buying online or from secondary markets. Second, examine the coin closely for unique minting errors or unusual features, as these can significantly increase its value, even in bad condition. Third, consider the context of your collection. If your goal is to complete a full series of 50 pence coins, even a damaged 1969 coin is a valuable piece that fills an important historical slot. Lastly, store your coins properly, even if they are worn, to prevent further deterioration and maintain their collectible appeal. In conclusion, the 1969 United Kingdom 50 pence coin is much more than just a worn piece of metal. It is a tangible link to the early days of Britain's decimal currency system, and even in bad condition, it carries historical and collectible significance. From its unique heptagonal shape and intricate design to its role in numismatic history, this coin offers both educational value and entry-level collecting opportunities. Whether you are just starting your coin collection or seeking to add a rare early decimal coin to your series, the 1969 50 pence is worth your attention. Remember, every coin tells a story, and this one tells a story of change, history, and enduring fascination among collectors around the world. Next up, the United Kingdom 50 pence coin dated 1982 in fine condition. At first glance, this coin may appear ordinary, especially to those who are new to numismatics. However, beneath its familiar heptagonal shape lies a story rich with history, subtle rarity factors, and surprising auction market interest, particularly when examined through the lens of condition, circulation, and collector demand. In this video, we will carefully break down the background of the 1982 50 pence, analyze its unique features, discuss its rarity both in fine and damaged condition, and explore how much this coin can realistically fetch in today's auction market when values are converted into US dollars. Whether you are a seasoned collector, a casual coin hunter, or someone who has recently discovered an old British coin in a drawer or inheritance box, this detailed guide will help you understand why the 1982 UK 50 pence still matters in the numismatic world. To fully appreciate the 1982 United Kingdom 50 pence coin, we must first look at the broader historical context in which it was produced. The 50 pence denomination was introduced in 1969 as part of the UK's transition to decimal currency, replacing the 10-shilling note. Its distinctive seven-sided shape, known as a heptagon with curved edges, was revolutionary at the time and made it easily distinguishable by touch, especially for the visually impaired. By the early 1980s, the 50 pence had already become a familiar part of everyday British life, used frequently in shops, public transport, and vending machines. The year 1982 sits in an interesting period of British economic history. The United Kingdom was experiencing inflationary pressures, industrial change, and shifts in monetary policy under the government of Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher. Coin production during this era was driven by practical circulation needs rather than commemorative intent, meaning most 1982 50 pence coins were struck for everyday use. Unlike some later commemorative 50 pence issues, the 1982 coin is a standard circulation piece, which makes condition a key factor in determining its desirability and value today. Over time, many of these coins became heavily worn or damaged, making examples in fine condition increasingly attractive to collectors. The 1982 UK 50 pence coin carries the classic design elements that define British coinage of the late 20th century. On the obverse, the coin features the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. This portrait, known as the Machin portrait, is one of the most iconic depictions of the Queen and was used on British coinage from 1968 until 1984. It shows the Queen facing right, wearing a tiara, with a dignified and timeless appearance that collectors continue to admire. The inscription around the obverse typically reads Elizabeth II Dei Gratia Regina FD, which translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. This Latin inscription adds historical and traditional depth to the coin. On the reverse, the design features Britannia seated, holding a trident and shield, symbolizing Britain's maritime strength and national identity. This Britannia design was created by Christopher Ironside and was a standard feature on the 50 pence coin for many years. Another unique aspect of the 1982 50 pence is its metal composition. The coin is made of cupronickel, an alloy of copper and nickel, which gives it durability and a silver-like appearance. This composition helped the coin withstand years of circulation, but it also means that many surviving examples show signs of wear, scratches, or environmental damage. In fine condition, however, the details of Britannia's shield, the Queen's portrait, and the inscriptions remain clear and sharp, making such coins more desirable than their heavily worn counterparts at first glance. The 1982 50 pence is not considered rare in terms of mintage numbers. Millions were struck and released into circulation, making it a common find in circulated condition. However, rarity in numismatics is not determined solely by how many coins were originally produced. Instead, it is shaped by how many examples survive today in collectible condition and how many collectors are actively seeking them in damaged or heavily circulated condition. The 1982 50 pence holds limited appeal for most serious collectors. Coins with smooth edges, faded inscriptions, corrosion, or deep scratches are generally valued close to face value. However, there is a niche segment of collectors who seek damaged coins for educational purposes, error studies, or low-budget typesets. In these cases, even a worn or damaged 1982 50 pence can still find a buyer, though the price remains modest. Interestingly, damaged coins with unusual characteristics such as minting errors, off-center strikes, or die cracks can attract attention regardless of their overall condition. While such errors are rare for the 1982 50 pence, when they do appear, they can significantly increase collector demand. This is why even damaged coins should be examined carefully before being dismissed, as a small anomaly can transform an ordinary piece into a collectible curiosity. When we shift our focus to the 1982 50 pence in fine condition, the story becomes much more interesting. Fine condition generally refers to a coin that has seen circulation but still retains clear details, readable inscriptions, and minimal wear on key design elements. For a coin that is more than 4 decades old, achieving fine condition is not guaranteed, especially for a denomination that was widely used in daily transactions. Collectors who build date runs or type collections of British decimal coinage often seek coins in fine or better condition to ensure visual appeal and historical integrity. As a result, demand for clean, well-preserved 1982 50 pence coins is stronger than many people expect. While the coin is not rare in an absolute sense, it becomes relatively scarce when collectors narrow their focus to examples that meet specific condition standards. Auction records and private sales show that fine condition examples consistently outperform heavily worn ones. This demonstrates how condition-driven rarity can elevate the perceived value of an otherwise common coin. Over time, as fewer high-quality examples remain available, collector competition can slowly push prices upward, especially when interest in British decimal coinage continues to grow internationally. Now let's talk about the part everyone is curious about: current market value in US dollars. It is important to understand that coin values fluctuate based on market trends, collector interest, and economic conditions. That said, we can look at recent auction data and dealer listings to establish realistic price ranges. In average circulated or damaged condition, a 1982 UK 50 pence typically sells for close to its face value, which converts to approximately $432,000 depending on exchange rates. These coins are abundant and usually sold in bulk rather than individually in fine condition. However, the value increases noticeably. A well-preserved 1982 50 pence can sell for anywhere between $123,000 at auction, especially if the coin has strong eye appeal and minimal surface marks. Coins that approach very fine or extremely fine condition may even exceed this range, particularly when sold through reputable auction platforms where competitive bidding occurs. If the coin is professionally graded by a recognized grading service and receives a higher grade, prices can climb further. While it is uncommon for a 1982 50 pence to reach extremely high prices, exceptional examples can still surprise collectors, particularly when demand outpaces supply. It is also worth noting that international buyers often pay a premium for British coins, which can push dollar values slightly higher in global auctions. Several factors influence how much a 1982 50 pence will sell for at auction. Condition is the most obvious, but other elements also play a role. Eye appeal, toning, strike quality, and originality all affect a buyer's perception of value. Coins that have not been cleaned or altered tend to perform better, as collectors generally prefer natural surfaces. Auction timing can also impact prices. Coins sold during periods of high collector activity, such as major numismatic events or online auction peaks, often achieve stronger results. Additionally, how a coin is presented, clear photographs, accurate descriptions, and trusted sellers can significantly influence final hammer prices. For collectors interested in the 1982 UK 50 pence, patience and attention to detail are key. Start by carefully examining any coins you already own, paying close attention to wear on the Queen's portrait and Britannia's shield. Avoid cleaning coins, as improper cleaning can reduce value rather than enhance it. If you plan to purchase a coin, buy from reputable dealers or auction platforms with transparent return policies. Comparing prices across multiple listings can help you avoid overpaying. For those considering long-term collecting, storing coins properly in protective holders and maintaining a stable environment will help preserve their condition. Collectors on a budget can still enjoy assembling a quality collection by focusing on fine condition examples rather than chasing top-grade pieces. Over time, even modestly priced coins can become more desirable as interest in decimal-era British coinage continues to grow. In conclusion, the United Kingdom 50 pence 1982 in fine condition is a fascinating example of how history, condition, and collector demand intersect in the world of numismatics. While it may not be one of the most famous or expensive British coins, it holds a quiet significance that rewards careful study and appreciation. Its iconic design, historical context, and steady presence in the auction market make it an excellent piece for both new and experienced collectors. As we have seen, the difference between a damaged coin and one in fine condition can mean the difference between face value and a respectable collectible premium in dollars. With growing international interest in British coins, the 1982 50 pence continues to find its place in collections around the world. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share for more in-depth coin value guides and collector insights.